welcome. Sharada Devi here. We are at day number 29 of Ritualise Your Life Challenge. Total day, 36 days. And let's take a moment to do our prayers as we've been doing every day. And welcoming everyone that is joining live today and welcoming you that is watching the recording. It's an honor for me to be here with you and initiate our 29th day of ritualizing our life. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Okay, so hello Theo, Ulrika, hello Carmen. So nice to be back here with you. And for those that are watching this live for the very first time, we have been on a trajectory, meeting every day, where I've been initiating the different steps that starts with the moment we wake up. All the way we're going to go through the moment we go to bed in order to bring sanctity to every single moment of our life. I have been a Vedic student and teacher for the last 20 years. For those that don't know what is Vedic, Vedic is the heart of the yoga, tantra, mantra, kriya, the whole spiritual wells that we have available in these times. The heart is the Vedic tradition. And the Vedic tradition is originally from India. It doesn't belong to India. It is really a body of knowledge that belongs to all of us. All of us means us human beings who are sincerely interested in growing spiritually. And what does it mean to grow spiritually? You may ask. According to the Vedic tradition and the Vedic view of life, spiritually growing means to discover your essential wholeness. That's the heart of the Vedas. So you, me, any being in reality is whole and complete. And not only that, it says that your being is my being and my being is your being. That in reality there's only one being. So that's the vision of the Vedic tradition, and India lives according to this tradition. Bali, where I have lived the last 16 years, we live according to this view. And so it is a culture that is a contributing society, not a competitive society. And the result of that is that there is less fear, less jealousy. Of course it's there as well, because it's not a perfect society in any way, but there is a deeper sense of I have a purpose here as a human being, a deep purpose, and I am here to be participating. I'm a participator in this ongoing mystery that we are all finding ourselves in. And so the Vedic view of life is one of treating life and all beings with deep reverence and respect, and actually seeing life as a place to grow. Grow what? Grow emotionally and then eventually spiritually, also meaning to discover the person's essential wholeness. So looking life not as a means for us to become whole and complete and happy, like that's how most of us have been raised, that the world is here to make us happy. In the Vedic vision, the view, the teaching is that we as human beings are actually the source of happiness, that we are actually the source of everything we want to be already here and now. That is what the Vedic view says, the Vedic teachings, is here to help us discover that actually you are the most powerful being, and in reality you don't need all these crutches that you think you need in order to be secure and happy and acceptable. And so this has been my passion the last 20 years, for those that are here for the very first time or watching this the first time, and many of you are here that I dearly care for and love so much. So nice to be here with you again. And so like, also for you who are all here and have heard this now over the last few days, isn't it every time landing in a different way? Like it's the same words, the same view, the same vision, but it lands differently. Like I have been with this teaching for 16 years now, and when we don't take the words for granted, when we don't take the teachings for granted, it lands deeper. We mature in our understanding. We see it suddenly from a different angle, or suddenly our mind is available in a different way than it was yesterday. So something that I was not able to catch yesterday, I'm able to catch today, just because my mind is available. Because it is our mind that needs to be available. If my mind is not available, then the whole teaching, the whole truth is being revealed, and I'm not catching it because I am not here. And that is the problem with most people, right? We are not here with each other. Like we're not really fully present. Half of our mind, or 80% of our mind, or even 90% of our minds are somewhere else, either ruminating about the past, ruminating what happened this morning, already thinking about tomorrow, thinking about in 1 year what's going to happen, or in 10 years, planning, constantly planning. Like we're addicted to planning. Such an adrenaline kick to plan all the time. And so it's very rare to really find people that are actually really fully present. Because in order to be fully present, which in reality is your nature, you are presence itself, but because we are so far away from our nature, from ourselves, as though we are far away from ourselves, because we can never really be far away from us because we are us, but like we are distancing ourselves from ourselves in the way that we are focusing so much in the past or the future outward that we miss what is here. So we're not present. And for those that are present, those people, you have worked on it. Like the people that can really be present, they've worked hard. It's funny, worked hard to be able to be truly present here. And to be really truly present here means that my mind is here, it's open, that my heart is open, my nervous system is relaxed, is not in fight, flight, offense, defense posture, is not in a dysregulated state, because when I am dysregulated, I cannot be present, like I'm surviving. And so that requires a lot of practice actually. And so it requires a lot of practice. And if someone already has naturally the ability to be very present, that then we say like we have practiced that, or we have accumulated that in a past life. So we've done our work already in a past life. So like some of us, we think like there's something wrong with us because we're sensitive, because we're present, because we're not always busy like many people are. Just speaking to everyone here. And then we think there's something wrong with us, but there's nothing wrong with us. The people that are interested in spiritual growth and living a Vedic life, hello, welcome back. Often we feel there's something wrong with us. We don't fit in. And so this not fitting in, I can so much relate to that. If you ever have felt like that, or if you're still feeling like that, that actually you are in social engagements, social situations, and you're finding yourself in a conversation and people are talking and gossiping, and you're just also engaging in that conversation, but you're not really actually interested in it, but you're just there because you think you have to, and if you don't do it, then you would be antisocial or you would be rude. And so I think, and just, like understanding that if you are that sensitive person, if you have this value for being present, if you're not caught in the past and the future, like there's nothing wrong with you. It means that like you bring these spiritual inclinations from a past life. And if I don't right now am able to be like fully present, and I am constantly thinking about the past and the present, but I'm here, that means I'm also already have these inclinations and these values. Otherwise I wouldn't be here and listening to this. And so, and it doesn't mean at all that there's something wrong with me if I am thinking constantly about the past or thinking about the future, because that's how we are trained. That's what we're trained to do. So this is what comes today. For whatever reason, maybe some one of you needs to hear this. But basically, like the Vedic tradition is the most beautiful teaching, one of the most beautiful teachings that I have encountered, and that has changed my life in every possible way and has given meaning and helped me to return to sacred beauty and get out of the mechanical way of living, like where life feels dull and empty and difficult, to actually being grateful for being alive every single day, where I can wake up and feel, wow, I feel so blessed that I'm alive, and appreciate the small things, which there are no small things, like everything is sacred. So here we are initiating day number 29, after having gone through all the different steps of how to bring in meaning into everything we do, from taking a bath through cooking to dressing, through to ornamenting ourselves. And today is dedicated to the vehicles. I already talked a little bit about that yesterday, when it was about our sacred duties and our contribution, the Panchamahayagnahas, the 5 sacred daily offerings to sustain and establish cosmic harmony. Now, this day, 29, is dedicated to when we are actually going out, like we're going out into the world. For those that are out in the world, nowadays many of us, we stay at home and we work, play, do our sacred duties through the computer or through the phone, etc. But for those that actually have their sacred duties and go out, then and you get to use a vehicle like a car or a bicycle, we're gonna ritualize that step of our day. So Sharada says hi to Sharada. Also nice. Your name is Sharada as well. What a beautiful name. Okay, so did this make any sense to you? What just came through in regards to presence, in regards to the future and being worried, or the difficulty of being present, or also feeling that part that feels like that has felt a lot isolated or alienated and not really being able to really relate to our Western way of living. So I'd love to hear from you if anything is resonating with you, or touches you, or also any sharings and questions. All is welcomed. So, and when you write, I will see it as it comes in. So today we're going to invoke, here the word D is missing, but we're going to invoke the sacred in this vehicle. So I talked about how in India, every 6 months there's this ritual for the vehicles, for the motorbike, for the bicycles, for the cars. Like the Balinese people then clean the car, clean the vehicles, and then do a ritual, bring incense and flowers and water, and really bless this vehicle in deep gratitude for Saraswati. We saw yesterday is the goddess of knowledge and the goddess of creation. Invoke her and offer their gratitude for having this technology. And so now here, as many of us are using vehicles, maybe a boat, like here, bus, motorbike, bicycle, car, a boat would also be included here. We're using these vehicles, and I chant the mantra every time before I start. I use the car, or before the bus goes, or when I take a plane, like the plane would also be here, I would chant the mantra to remove the obstacle. Like there's a possibility for there to be a car incident, known as a car accident, but we look at things more as incidents in the Vedic tradition rather than accidents. And so we're neutralizing the possibility that there could be an incident, and also because we're aware that people are not always present. Yeah, even though if you are maybe very present with what you're doing, but people are not always present. So this winter, for the first time, I stayed in Switzerland after 22 years in the winter. I grew up in Davos in a mountain resort, and I haven't lived there for 22 years, but this year I came back for 6 months in the winter. I wanted to be there. Circumstances brought me there, and I did some deep inner processing and reclamation of my Swiss roots. And I actually was living I was living on the mountains, and the ski slope was literally 10 meters next to me. And like many people ask me, like, why didn't you go skiing? And a part of me really would have liked to go skiing and snowboarding. I used to do that a lot. And maybe I would go, maybe I would go another time again, or when one day I'm going to go. But in this moment, it wasn't really why I was there. I was doing my inner processing. But also there was a part of me that didn't really want to go, because I know of how people ski, the energy on the mountain, how people ski, like really, they go quick, they don't watch, sometimes they even drink alcohol, and then like incidents happen. And so I'm just sharing this also because as much as we are present, or as much as we are aware, many people are not. And so then we are also taking that into consideration, because we are going to meet people when we are in the world. Right? We cannot avoid people, and we're also not supposed to avoid people in that sense. We want to engage with the people, yes, in healthy relationships and win-win situations, as we've seen, but sometimes it's out of our control. Like people just come, a bus just comes, a bicycle can just suddenly show up. People are most of the time not here. They are somewhere else. Yesterday, tomorrow, planning constantly, not here. Right? So also if you have an incident, if you burn yourself cooking, you can, isn't it 99.9% because you weren't really present, because you're doing something else, or you weren't really fully present. If you're really present, you don't burn yourself. And so the same, if I'm really present, but unlikely there will be an accident, but it can still happen, and also especially because other people are involved. So maybe that's why I was speaking about all of this presence at the beginning, because now it all links. Yeah? Often I don't know, like things just come, and that's the beauty also of our hearts and minds being so connected with each other. Then like we're invoking Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, and she just delivers. And sometimes I'm like wondering, how come I'm speaking about this? And now it just all beautifully links together. Theo says, absolutely. These last few days, my nervous system has been a little untamed. Thankfully, Ishvara has restored the balance, and I can receive deeply again. Oh, beautiful. I'm glad to hear that you took care of yourself. Yeah, you told me. And welcome back. It's so important to take care of our nervous system. Like nothing works really if we don't take care of our nervous system. And there are so many great ways to take care, and we can use sacred like herbs, like ashwagandha, sacred, that's a root. Ashwagandha is the smell of the horse. It's called the horse smell. A root in Ayurveda is great for the nervous system. CBD oil. Skorpan 2721 says, yes, thank you for your wise words. Okay, I'm glad. Okay. Okay. Hello, Sol Karina Lakshmi. Welcome. Okay, so please protect me and carry me safely wherever I want, wherever I need to go. So this you can say it in English or you translate it into your language. I invoke the sacred in this vehicle, in this boat, in this motorbike, in this bicycle, in this kite. Maybe you also go kiting, yeah. My brother started to do, what's it called, like tandem, like Gleitschirmfliegen. Gleitschirm is how do you say that? You know, like when you fly with the big balloon, like a tent. And so, like if you do some extreme sports like that, like, and you have all this, the surfboard also, yeah, because you could get hit by the surfboard. So paragliding, thank you. Yes, paragliding, exactly. Paragliding, right? So then I invoke the sacred in this parachute. No, not hot air balloon. No, it's paragliding. Yeah, no, he's not doing hot air balloon yet. Who knows? He loves all these things. Paragliding, right? So I invoke the sacred in the paragliding shoe, umbrella. Yeah, Shirm. You can tell me how you call the paragliding is the action, right? That's the sport. But then what is called the paraglide? You know what I mean, I think. Yeah. So you can invoke the sacred in any vehicle or in any item that you're using, that you're going from one place to another, bus, motorbike, plane, cars, etc. And please protect me, carry me safely wherever I go, wherever I need to go. So we've done that. We do this ritual when we get out of the bed, right? Parachute, yes. Thank you, Carmen. Great, thank you. Parachute, yes, that's the one. Parachute. Like, so then you could, if you do paragliding or you ever go and do paragliding, then parachute paragliding is a slightly different activity. Okay, I guess the activity with the parachute is called skydiving. Oh, okay. Well, I think you use a parachute, to do skydiving, but he's not doing the skydiving that you go out of the plane. It's just the one that you run off you run off like on the mountain. You kind of are high up on the mountain, and then on a field, and then he runs, and then suddenly like glides off. I think it's called paragliding. So, okay. So so we did this, like we're doing this when we are waking up, and we're Anandoham first, fullness, limitless being I am, honoring our breath, yoga kshema iti prana pana yoho. Then karagre vasate, honoring our actions, our sacred creative force, our genitals, or taking the temperature. And then we have the fifth step, going out of the bed, touching the earth, asking her to protect us. So it's a little bit similar. Menka repaso. ¿Qué significa eso? No lo entiendo. Today is a little bit funny, I think. I'm also a little bit tired. I was traveling today from Switzerland to Südtirol. I am in Südtirol, in a place called Brixen. And then tomorrow I continue the journey to Arco, to Italy, where we start a yoga teacher training. I come and teach here since a few years, every year. A beautiful, lovely group. And I teach here the Vedic tradition and pujas and rituals, all the goodness. And so I've been traveling many hours today. So I'm a little bit tired. So excuse me my tiredness. But that's also part of it. And it's also okay. I can show up like this here. So, where are we? Exactly. So we get out of the bed and we're asking Mother Earth to protect us. So it's a little bit similar. But here it's specifically, right? So we have done all these 28 steps, right? Just before, and you're probably thinking, how I'm going to do all of this before going out of the house. Like for most people, like taking your bicycle, some people, I want to say most people, but I think many people, they don't have so much time in the morning. They maybe take half an hour before going out of the house, right? You get up, take a shower, eat quickly, and then run out, and then take the car and just droom, and it's all quite mechanical. And so here, like, we've done all these steps until we are actually getting out of the house and taking our vehicle. But as we've seen, all these steps, like, it can be this moment of recognition, and it's bringing this bhava. Bhava means the attitude, the essence into it. Welcome, Lina, Dorothy, those that are joining now. Nice to have you here. So here we're getting out of the house, and so it's this moment of just honoring the vehicle. And the vehicle, we call it in Sanskrit a vahana. Vahana. So your bus, your motorbike, your boat is your vahana. So it's beautiful to establish a relationship with your vahana, with your car. Give your car a name. Like, I have a motorbike. It's called Hamsadhwani, the sacred swan. And then my other friend has another bike, has actually a car. Her car is called Nandi. And so, yeah, and then the car of Yusuf, my dear friend, previous partner, his car we call Nilakanta, the one that has the blue neck. So it's so beautiful to give a name, to your vahana, to your vehicle that takes you from one sacred place to another sacred place. And what a gift that we have these sacred vehicles. And I know it's quite common to name your boat, like, probably wondering what's the name of the boat of Christine and Patrick. and then I don't know if people are giving a name to the car. I haven't heard so many people talk about that. But for boats, we're quite used to that. But let's give a name to our bicycles, to our motorbike, to the car, to the bus, to your surfboard, to your parachute, right? And then there's this beautiful relationship to this vehicle. And every deity in the Vedic tradition also has a vehicle. And we saw Garuda is the sacred eagle of Vishnu, Hamsadhwani, Hamsa is the swan, vehicle, the friend of La Saraswati. So they all also have their companions. And so again, like, it's part. Why are we doing this? Because we are cultivating the bhava, the attitude of oneness. We are cultivating a sense of oneness through ritualizing our life, which means through establishing a relationship with all aspects of life, so that then eventually I can abide in the truth. What is the truth? That we are one whole being, like that you and I and all other beings, we are one and the same being. The whole universe is my family. That's the truth. That's what we, as spiritual aspirants and people that want to really live as free people and discover freedom, we can discover that fact. And it's already an accomplished fact, so it's simply something to be discovered. But it doesn't happen overnight. And so in the meantime, as we're discovering that truth, that we are one being, we are cultivating the right attitude that resembles the truth. So if the truth is oneness, if the truth is love, what is the resemblance? What would be the action? What would be the relationship of love itself? It's one of caring, one of appreciating each other. And so we also do this with our vehicles. So please let me know if and when and if you're going to name your vehicle. I want to hear from you. Like, you can even give a name to your yoga mat. Why not? That's maybe not your vehicle, but in one way it is a vehicle, because it brings you like to yourself. It takes you home to yourself. And like, and we're taking all this vehicle, yes, to go and do our duties. And often we think it's going to take us somewhere and we're going to become happy. But we're not taking all these vehicles. We're not going on this journey of life to become happy. Actually, we're going on this journey of life to discover that we are the very source of happiness. That's the whole adventure, to discover that we are what we want to be already here and now. And it's such a wake-up, wow, and to discover that it's not out there. And thanks God as it's not out there. Imagine it would be. That'd be terrible. Okay, so, and the mantra, those that, most of you know this mantra. Those that are watching this for the first time, this is a very famous mantra. And you may be thinking, well, I know this mantra already, right? But I invite you, even for those that already know or have heard it in some yoga class or something, like to always come with a fresh heart, fresh mind, fresh attitude to these Vedic teachings. And yes, the mind may say, oh, I know it already. I already done this. And then we develop this attitude, I already know. But this attitude of I already know is not going to bring you very far in life, is it? In the Vedic tradition, the Veda says, receive or meet the teachings and the mantras every time through fresh eyes, through fresh ears. Listen again. Pay attention to again. You may pick up a new nuance, something that you haven't picked up before. And it's here, this Ganesha mantra. You're establishing a deeper connection with Ganesha. So you'll have even a better Ganesha relationship. Just like with your partner. You're not telling your partner, oh, I already know you. I mean, we do that, right? And that's why relationships fall apart so quickly, because we take each other for granted. But we don't want to be taken for granted. And we want that we call each other's name each time with love and care. If you call like your partner with love and care each time, they're like, oh, they really feel appreciated. They can feel your appreciation. If we start to call them Martin, Jack, Christine, you don't want to listen. You don't want to pay attention to them. But if they call your name with love and care, you're like, you want to pay attention. You want to turn around. You want to listen. And it's exactly the same with Ganesha. And all these mantras we chant. May we never take the mantra for granted. Theo says, my car already has a name. She's called the Midnight Dancer. I like that. Yes, beautiful. And Christine says, thinking of a name to our sweet new sailing boat. Suggestions welcome. Okay, great. Let's see if a name comes from the new sailing boat. Okay, let's see. Invoking. And Sharada says, cutie means endearing little one. As a name suggestion. Oh, you mean kuti, not cutie. Kuti. Kuti in Tamil. That's a beautiful... Do I pronounce that properly? I don't know. I know the Tamil, they're rolling very much, right? Kuti? Kuti? Kuti. Endearing little one. That's very cute. That would also be really nice for your little one. For your little child, right? If you're doing inner child meditation, maybe it wants to be called Kuti. Maybe that's where cutie came from. Cutie, in the word English, cutie, maybe it came from kuti. Many of the English words come from Sanskrit. Understanding probably comes from, the root in Sanskrit is sta. Sta means to stand. Sthane means it's in order, understanding. So many words like luxury probably came from the word Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. So maybe cutie came from kuti. I don't know. Okay, so let's chant this mantra as if we are chanting it for the very first time. Let's invoke Ganesha as if we're invoking him for the first time. We meet him and we love to meet Ganesha. or like the oldest best friend that you just love to meet. And then you chant, and you can imagine you are about to go on your boat ride, you're about to take your bicycle, you're about to take the plane to fly to Honolulu. And so then you can chant Ganesha mantra and ask Ganesha to bring you safely from your home or wherever you are to the next destination. And what I additionally do is actually I take a moment, so like when I travel, I take a moment before. I would do it in the morning in my rituals, but then also before, and seeing the whole journey ahead of me, and then just seeing myself going through the different places or to the different places, the buses and the trains, etc., if I already know the route. And then I also relax my nervous system already. I can see myself going from one place to the next place with a calm nervous system as much possible. The obstacles are being removed. I meet people that are kind to me, that are helpful, and already energetically I'm clearing and paving the way, and then I chant. And I do this before I go, and I also do it for my students when they go somewhere, or for my friends. Like I wish them well. We do that, like we say, safe journey. And now you can add the mantra, and you can add your power of intention. You can add your prayer and visualize that they go from where they are to the destination safely, smoothly, and are protected all the way through. Because there are so many unexpected things that can happen on a travel, on a journey. Even from your home to going to your sacred duty, if you work in a bank or in a restaurant or in a supermarket. And there's so many factors that suddenly pop up, and so we're invoking this smooth ride, this enjoyable ride. Sharada says, champi is the root word for shampoo. Oh, really? Champi means hair oiling. Okay, incredible, interesting. Yeah, so many words, huh? Shampoo, champi. Thank you for sharing that. So for those that this mantra is new, you can listen and then repeat after me. So first we say the bija mantra, Om, Om, then Gam, Gam, Gana, Gana. And so here on the na, there's supposed to be a dot underneath. Just imagine there's a dot. It means you roll the tongue back, and the bottom of the tongue touches the dome of the palate. So it sounds like this, Gana, 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 Gana. And then pataye, pataye. A is always long. Pataye, namaha, namaha. And we have our puff on the heart, on the ha, to untie all the knots from the heart. Om gam ganapataye namaha. 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 And let's chant a couple times more together. And maybe you have some upcoming journeys, or you can visualize your vehicles and invoking the removal of obstacles, the smooth journey for wherever you are going, or for people that are there in your life. Maybe they're coming to you. And so you can visualize that as we chant. Om gam ganapataye namaha. 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 And then take a moment. Just notice the immediate effect of chanting. And what happens when there's trust involved, devotion, love. Trust is most important. That devotion, like that you chant, that this prayer comes from this deep, deep, deep trust. Like I know I can trust. I trust the universe. There's no doubt all these obstacles are going to be removed. I know Ganesha removes the obstacles. And you feel how the hearts in the knot, how the knots in the heart dissolve. How the heart becomes more, as it can relax. And we can become more and more present. So when you take the bike, you drive, you're present with what is here in front of you. That's all that matters really. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. And then you can also offer a flower to your vehicle. You can visualize it also. Bring a flower to your car. You can even have a little Ganesha, a little altar in your car. Or maybe you tie a little band around your bicycle and offer to it a flower. It just makes life so much more sweet with all these little details. So simple. But the heart loves it and the universe loves it as well. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna close here. Sacred vehicles. And tomorrow, if we wake up, we have number 30 for our initiation. No, 3, 6, 7 more days, 1 more week to go. You want to come to India for Ganeshotsav. What is Ganeshotsav? Is that like a Ganesha? Is that like Ganesha Chaturthi? I know Ganesha Chaturthi. I don't know Ganeshotsav. Yeah, I would love to come back to India. I haven't been in India for quite a while now. I think she's calling. Yeah. Where are you from, Sharada? Ganesha Chaturthi. Yes, that would be lovely. I would love that. I would love to come back to India. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Theo. Thank you, everyone. Much love. Until tomorrow. You live in Mumbai. Beautiful. Big city. Wow. So nice you're here with us. Thank you for, India, the heritage, the spiritual heritage. It's nothing like it. We're so profoundly blessed. Brings me to tears that we get to bathe in the Sanatana Dharma and in the vision of the Vedas. We're very blessed. Thank you. Thank you, Amrita. Thank you, Rika. Thank you, Yek. Om.